Hey everyone, it's Maddie Robert, and this is the Sunday Reflection for September 3rd, 2017. The Sunday Reflection is when we take a look back at the previous week and a look forward at the next week, what went well and what didn't go so well. The most exciting thing happened this week. Most people are going to think I'm crazy, but to me this is the most exciting thing. My rent is now on autopay. That's right. I don't have to write out a check. I don't have to remember to mail it in. I don't even have to think about it. So the reason I have all my bills on autopay is because if I don't, I'll forget to pay them. I was always forgetting to pay my cable bill, and I was always forgetting to pay the electric bill. You know, I had to log into their website, and I never remembered my user credentials, so it always got missed. All right, so now to the exciting sewing stuff that you are all anxiously awaiting, I think. The Wonky quilt for my mother's birthday. I am this close to having it finished. The only thing I have left to do is do some tack stitches on the top of the quilt to make sure that all the 3 layers come together. I am so excited with the way that this quilt came out. In all honesty, this quilt far surpasses what I thought it was going to be when I first started this project. Her birthday was on Thursday, and I told her, I'm making you something and it's not ready yet, but I'll have it to you, in a few days. So I'm really excited to give her that. I think she's going to absolutely love this quilt. I have been filming a whole video on the quilt, so I'm going to be posting that this week sometime, so make sure you look out for that. So the funnest part about making this quilt was playing around with the different cuts to get the Wonky 9 patch to look different, because I didn't want them all to look like 2 carrots or inverted carrots or V's or A shapes, however you want to call that. So I did some with some very narrow cuts, I did some with very wide cuts, I did things that were very angled, like from one corner to another. I definitely didn't give myself enough time for this project because I didn't anticipate there being so much work involved with it. I thought it would be, I thought it would come together really quickly. I have to say I had so much fun making this project. And I was sitting here sweating, trying to bang it out as fast as I could. I need to give myself enough time to make it look nice and not be rushed while I'm making it so it doesn't come out sloppy. And let me tell you, this whole thing was way more work than I thought it would be. The toughest part about making this quilt that I found was when the batting got involved. So I ordered this really thick, it's probably 1 inch thick polyester batting. I didn't think that it was as dense as it was when I ordered it. So I've been kind of having an issue with getting all of that underneath the presser foot on my machine and not having it shift all over the place. I think, I've figured out a system to do that so I can get the rest of the tacking on the top done. Now I didn't do the full free motion quilting on this quilt just because I would never be able to fit all of that under my machine. It's too much, and my machine's not big enough to handle that. I've been putting little tacks in at the corner of each block, just doing a zigzag with a 0 length for the stitch so that it's just going back and forth. I did 1 set of them and it actually stretched out the top and the back all the way to one side. So this side was fine, but then when I got to that side, once I was done and took it off the machine, it was all bunched up on that side. So I had to rip all those out, and I've found a method that works. So I'm going to finish that today. It will go to my mother probably tomorrow. I want to wash it before I give it to her, but I'm not sure if I'm really going to have time. And it gives me such great joy to actually have a quilting project that I've finished, because the first quilt that I started ran into issue after issue and I just got bored and I totally lost interest in that project. I've still got all of the fabric and I think I'm still going to finish it just because, I need to, I just need to finish it. I need that satisfaction, that gratification of finishing it. So one thing that I ran into while I was working on this quilt was my machine was starting to bunch. I was getting thread nests underneath the fabric. The machine was starting to get stuck I would be going, and then all of a sudden my machine, the needle would get stuck and it just wouldn't move. The motor wouldn't go down. And even turning the hand wheel, I couldn't get the needle to go in and out of the fabric. I was like, what's going on with my machine? This machine is not capable of doing the projects that I want to do. I'm gonna have to buy a new machine, or I'm gonna have to go get this fixed, or it's broken, or something's wrong with it. Nope. What was wrong with it is that I hadn't cleaned it. So I got this machine probably in December, January timeframe. January, I got the machine, and I'd never cleaned it. Now, I don't use it all the time, but I've made like a few projects on it. I've done enough sewing on it where there was enough lint in the machine where it needed to be cleaned out. So I looked up some videos online, cleaned out my machine, put some oil in it, and now my machine works like better than it did when I first got it. So, lesson to be learned here is that cleaning your sewing machine and making sure that it's oiled and maintained is a very important step to any project. And I was reading online that you should be doing it every 3 to 4 hours worth of sewing. So that is extremely important. Make sure that you do it. So that's the sewing updates for the week. I did order a whole bunch of McCall patterns. Those should be coming in sometime soon. I think I ordered like maybe 20 patterns, maybe 30. Yeah, I'm nuts. I went nuts. Like, I do want to go into pattern making at some point, but I think that that's something that's going to take a little bit more skill. And I kind of want to use these patterns to see what the shapes are and then how that fits me. So that when I start pattern making, which I could start anytime, I just don't have the focus to sit down and do it. But when I start to do it, I'll at least have the experience with all these different patterns that are out there to say, this pattern shape makes this shape on an actual garment. So that is my ultimate goal, is to do pattern making for menswear so that I can make my own wardrobe of clothing, because that is my ultimate goal. That's why I started sewing. So that's what I want to do. So beyond that, personal life, my personal life has been sewing this last week. That's all it's been. And I do have a whole bunch of cleaning projects that I need to do around my apartment. This quilting has made such a mess. Everything has been put on hold. You know, I've got so much stuff everywhere that needs to just be reorganized and gone through, you know, and I've just been throwing things around here and there because I've been trying to work on this quilt and get it done. So that's really my focus for the next week, to get this place back to looking great. So when I come home, I can just sit back, relax, and feel comfortable. All right, so that is the Sunday reflection for September 3rd, 2017. Let me know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment below. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I know you want to see more. You can visit my website, maddierobert.com, for more information on this video and all of my other videos, plus information on things that I don't even record on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.